Hello and welcome to Manila Up Season 2, baby! My name is Mark Anthony Nicholas and I'm your main host for Season 2. It's my honor and it's my pleasure to introduce to you some of the amazing hosts all over the United States. First up, we have Kimmy Verma. She is the host of The Glamorous Life. Next, we have Gia Nortez, Secrets of Movie Making. Next, we have Kat Inaba. She's the host of In the Mix with Kat Inaba. Then we have Melody Garcia, host of Life Unscripted. Next, we have Effie Barker, and she's gonna share some of the amazing stories from our human interest people. Up next, we have Grace Aguilar. She is the host of The Metro Scene. And my name is Mark Anthony Nicholas, and I'm your host of Inside Hollywood. Enjoy the ride and enjoy the show. Now, are you ready to get up with Manila Up TV? I know I am. Woo! Yes!
Hi, it's Kimmy. So welcome to my glamorous life. And today we'll be doing the biggest thing in glamour, which is hair. You know how much I love them. So I love going to Farha, who's my hairdresser. It's an intimate salon. I love intimate places where the owner is working directly with me. And we're already at Farha Salon. It's in Beverly Hills on Robertson Boulevard. And we'll be getting my hair done from her and we'll be chatting up with her. Good. How are you?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Very good.
So,
Thank
I
you.
need something done.
Yes, well,
Can we fluff them up?
yes.
Just go. Farah, I love what you do for my hair, but what do people like? What's trending these days?
Yeah, they like the long hair like you. Everybody like.
So if they don't have long hair, then what do? They do extensions?
Yeah, when most people they love the long hair and they use the extension.
And how about the color? Like what kind of colors?
Yeah, color, the base they like the dark,
Oh, okay.
and end of the hair they like the lighter.
Like ombre kind of a thing?
Like ombre, like a partial, like a ombre, low light, highlight.
You know, I love what you do for me. But what's your specialty? Like, if I tell my friends, go to Farha, what's the specialty? What do they come for?
If they have a thick hair, frizzy hair, I have a special treatment like keratin is the best for them. They can keep it blow dry longer.
Like relaxing the hair?
Relaxing hair, yeah.
Cool. So people can have nice relaxed hair even if they have dry hair or something.
Yeah.
That's great. do you think you make women glamorous by doing their hair?
Yeah, I proud myself when they happy.
I'm all about having a glamorous life. And this is because I love glamour, so I love getting my hair done from you.
Thank you.
So tell me one more thing. How many years have you been doing this?
30 years, almost 30
years.
Yes.
Farha, I was a little kid at that time. Really, 30 years. Oh my God. Love it. So good. So thank you so much for doing these great hair, and I love chatting with you, and I learned new things about hair relaxing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I take this?
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Melody Garcia, your host for Life Unscripted. November 2013, so I never went back to the Philippines since 1986. November 2013, this happens. How many of you remember Typhoon Haiyan that made global news? It was the most powerful hurricane that ever made landfall, killing thousands. The size measured from Florida to Canada in width, making landfall at 235 miles per hour. And it hits the most damaged of already a fallen structure of towns, wiping everything, obliterating islands on its path. As news media flooded as such as what's happening, I get glued. Because it doesn't matter how long I've been gone, home was still home. But yet, there's this whisper that says, don't look at that, go on the internet news, because at the time the Philippines did not censor anything, and I followed that voice. And the news I came across completely broke my heart. It was a story of a woman holding her 2 dead children right in the middle of a debris with a merchant ship and everything else that you're going to see in a video I'm going to play later. And that very pain and core connected. Because for parents, and for anyone here, there's no deeper pain than the loss of your own child. She couldn't even bury them. For 3 days was the story. And all I remember was getting down on my knees in complete tears and activated what I called a mustard seed that I had no idea where it was going. And all I said was, help me help them, and activate all the gifts you have given me to help me reach them. The next day, I had an epiphany. Oh my goodness, I sing. Why don't I put a small cabaret concert together and invite 20 of my closest people? That's 20 more people that can donate more than I can. This number 20 was stuck in my head. So the power of social media, I go to Facebook, I send it to the Filipino-American community because I was just brilliant, and I said, I'm putting a cabaret concert together. Whoever wants to come join me and sing, message me. The next day I woke up. My Facebook Messenger went ballistic. We will sing with you. I said, no one's getting paid. Whoever shows up, 100% is being donated straight to the ground. I don't know how I'm going to get it there, but I know that's where it's supposed to go. The strange part is, as I'm looking at these participants and volunteers, nobody was Filipino-American. And I went, where in the world did this go? Checked it, nope, same community. Oh, didn't pay attention. Then I said, well, what if these people need receipts for their nonprofit, whatever, taxes? Before I could even think it, a nonprofit, and I connect, and they're like, don't worry, we'll partner up with you. We'll absorb it. I said, you're not keeping a fee. 100% goes to the ground. They said, no problem.
To escape from reality is the best thing you can give yourself. So when in LA, I treat myself with O-Skin Med Spa. Relax and rejuvenate. Find your escape.
Today is a very special day. I get the chance to interview the esthetician to the stars, Miss Olivia Quito.
Thank you so much, Effie, for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Olivia Quito is a successful Filipino businesswoman whose clients include stars and celebrities. But it took her a lot of hard work to achieve her success.
My secret's out.
Ang ganda mo, Casey.
Thanks to you, Miss O.
How she achieved that success is an inspiring story of how to pursue one's dream.
I was born and raised in the Philippines, and then I finished my high school and college there. Actually, I took computer programming course. Yeah, it was a business administration, but the major was computer application. So it's about how to make the system computerized in a business.
Olivia, who is now popularly known as Miss O, her interest in beauty and skincare started when she was just a little girl.
Skincare has been my passion like when I was younger. So I remember vividly when I was like in grade school, when the teacher gives us lecture, I would always draw eyebrows on a piece of paper.
When she moved to the States, she studied hairstyling. But because she's interested in skincare, eventually she took courses in aesthetics.
15 years ago, I went to school for haircut. And then I did hair color.
So marunong ka rin ng hair.
Yes, and then, but then every time they talk about the skincare, I would always be interested taking notes. Talagang 100% of my yung focus was there. So then I asked my teacher, is there a course that only talks about skincare? I went for aesthetics, and then after that, 15 years later, and then praise God that we have a med spa.
Because she was unknown, at first, it was a struggle to attract customers.
I didn't have a lot of clients. You know, like when you just graduated and you don't get a lot of trust from people, right? So then what happened was I would always go to like supermarkets and then pass out flyers, put flyers like outside, like by the windshields of the cars. So that's what I did to promote myself. But then I would only do maybe 1 or maybe 0 client in a day for about 2 years. That's a long time. So I was like pushing it and pushing it. I said, oh Lord, is this really for me? Because it's so hard not to make so much money and you have a lot of bills to pay. You know how it is.
Right, yeah.
And then I would only make $35 in a day, and then just do a lot of budgeting just to make ends meet.
When we come back, we'll talk about the challenges that she encountered and how did she overcome them.
My last money was 1,000 per month. I don't see it as a challenge, but I see it more as an inspiration. How do I make them stick with me for a long time?
Today we take you to the City of Angels at Filipino Workers Center for Film Creatives celebrating women in film event.
Fierce female Filipina filmmakers are all words to describe the guest panelists at the event. Instead of sitting around and waiting for their stories to be told by Hollywood, they're making moves and playing by their own rules. Charlene de Guzman wrote and stars in Unlovable, a story that is loosely based on her life.
I've always been a performer. When I was little growing up, I was a dancer, all kinds of dance, competition dance, and I loved performing. I loved being in plays. But when I would watch movies and TV shows, I wondered why there weren't many people at all that looked like me. And so at some point I decided that I wanted to be one of those people to make that happen.
Hi, my name is Joy, sex and love addict.
Hi, Joy.
With my project, Unlovable, it was always my intention to share my story from my point of view and then star as myself, essentially, for people who related to my story to see their story on screen, for people who look like me or have families like me to see that story on screen. So that was just always a big intention in the making of the film.
We need you to support
Director and writer Mallory Ortega's latest film is Nanay Ko, about a Filipino-American family.
I just hear and read all these great scripts for pilot season, and it's like amazing that these opportunities are happening and someone like me could pitch something like that. There's a TV executive I'm talking to now who is Asian American, and he's like, tell me what you got, and like, let's talk about it. I'm like, okay, cool, like that's amazing. And like that would have never happened 5 years ago, like maybe even 3 years ago. It's a great time for us.
Anna Barreto took her experiences to write and direct her feature film, The Year I Did Nothing, a Filipino family waiting to immigrate to America.
I was 5 when my aunt sponsored our family to immigrate to America in 1975.
Saan sa Amerika nakatira si Santa Claus?
Baka sa Hollywood. Doon yata nakatira yung mga celebrity.
Si Wonder Woman din?
The more TV we watched, the more we couldn't wait to come to America.
You know, the most gratifying thing about this movie that we made is that we were able to cast an all-Filipino cast. They all spoke Tagalog, set in the Philippines, and it's amazing that we have these actors that are great actors. They're tremendous actors. However, when you see their when you see them on a Lifetime movie or whatever, they're playing the FBI agent that doesn't even have a line, it's like in the background, and I'm like, you guys are missing out. This guy is awesome.
Actor turned director Marty Go's film Remittance, about a Filipino cruise ship worker, was a 2018 finalist for the HBO APA Visionary Short Film Competition. In her latest film, Rise, she wanted to raise awareness regarding the 300 women kidnapped in Nigeria.
300 girls are kidnapped, and what's happening now? Who went to save them? Anyone? For me as a woman, thinking that our daughters, our sisters could be taken, that was the common thread that I found to connect me to this story, and thought this is extremely important to be talked about, because not much has been done about it, and still to this day hundreds of girls are still in these camps and abused and raped, and so that's where I found that common ground.
And no matter your calling, whether it's to make your own films or start your own business, take it from Go.
I truly believe that the only limits in your life are the limits that you set up for yourself. What was it, 2 years ago that Tangerine was made on a cell phone that was bought for $6 million. Literally anything is impossible, so get out of your own way. If you think you suck, do it anyway until you're good, and just keep going every single day. Make those goals and do something every single day to accomplish those goals.
What a wonderful event. There was so much valuable information, and I was inspired. I hope you were too. A big shout out to Philam Creative for always knowing what type of events to put out and support our Filipino community. Until next time, I'm Kat Aniba.
Hi, we're here with Adam Siegel, screenwriter. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a writer and director. I've been doing this for about 12 years or so. I've made 5 feature films, 2 of them just as writer, and then 3 as writer and director. I did one earlier this year called Sargasso with Tom Berenger and Jeremy Sumpter and Graham McTavish. And about 2 years ago, I did one called When the Starlight Ends with Sam Heughan and David Arquette and Sean Patrick Flannery and Arabella Oz. And my first film was way back in 2007. I wrote and raised the money for that was with Aaron Paul.
Well, you've also written a couple of scripts for our company.
I have.
Yes, one is the martial art movie.
Yep.
That is to be set in Philippines, and the other one is addressing social matter.
Yeah.
The whole Me Too.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite scripts. It's Cry on Command. It's my first just ultra feminist script. I love it. It's fantastic.
I love it. It's not an easy journey being a writer.
Sure, it's very true.
Yeah, and then writing scripts is not an easy journey, but not because there's a lot of actually super creative people out there, but not everyone can make the script into a movie.
Yeah.
And you have done that.
Yeah. My tricks for fundraising are, number one, make sure your script is really good. Don't try to get a crappy script made. I you know what I mean? Make sure it's actual quality material. And honestly, I could probably talk for hours about how to actually raise money, but there's different types of investors at this level of the industry. There's the unicorns, which would be like the Megan Ellisons of the world, who purely want to support the arts, and they see a great script and they say, sure, I'll give you $5 million to make your film. You won't find those. And if you do, please give me their number, because I haven't found any.
Yeah.
The next tier are the ones who are purely interested in money. And there's a lot of those. And those are tricky because a film investment is inherently risky and different. It's not, and it's where actually a lot of investors get really tripped up, because they are usually coming from investing in real estate or other various things that are pretty simple, investing in, startups and that kind of thing. And in those industries, there are a lot of rules and there are a lot of very set protocols that if you follow, you generally can do pretty decently. Film is completely different because I see a lot of investors who go, oh, okay, here was this independent film, A Quiet Place, right? It's not an independent film, but let's say use that as an example. And it was this horror film with this concept with these actors that did great and made a bunch of money. Cool, I'm going to do a very similar movie with similar actors and similar music and similar shots, and it's going to do just as well. And then it bombs, and they go, oh, what happened? Because it's art, and you don't. So it's tricky for those money-driven investors to understand what projects are actually valuable. And because of that, there's been this major shift in the industry that is projects are now purely valued based on who's in them. And it's a sad state of affairs because they don't care what your script is, they don't care who you are,
and
they don't care
oftentimes they don't care what the performance of the talent.
Nope, they just care solely about what their numbers are. And so you can fight that, and that's a battle to do that and say, no, I want to cast this actor.
Years and years and maybe a whole life doing it. Yeah.
So my advice on that is to be respectful of those investors and understand that if you can overcome using people who maybe would not have been your first choice, but who help the film to get recognition and gain some value, that at some point, hopefully you can become the value. And then that's the dream, is that you as the director, people want to see your movies, and then you can do whatever you want.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Of course,
this was a great conversation and a lot of practical advice. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Well, I'll see you in a little bit.
I'll see you very soon. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
To be radiant, to be glowing, to be your best. Turn back the hands of time. Beauty starts with you. Starts now. Image Spa MD.
Say yes to your next epic escapade. Book your next travel with Philippine Airlines mid-year seat sale from May 27 to June 9, 2019. Book your flights now.
Hi, welcome to Inside Hollywood with Mark Anthony Nicholas on Manila Up TV. Today we have a special guest, and I'm so honored and delighted to have the concert queen, Pops Fernandez.
Hi, Mark. Hi. I am more than glad. I'm gladder than you.
Oh my God, gladder than glad. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show. So you're the face of Image Spa.
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Yes, yes.
You have
one of them anyway.
And you have beautiful skin.
Thank you.
What is your skin regimen like? Or you just wake up like this?
I woke up like this.
Yes, Beyonce.
I woke up like this after how many hours of preparing?
Yes, yes.
No, I always believe in taking care of yourself. And nowadays, thank God, during this lifetime of ours, there's so many wonderful products and so many wonderful machines.
Yes.
Thank God for science and that aspect.
Right.
That we don't have to go through all the harsh stuff. Right?
Yes.
So I think we're pretty lucky.
Right. We are.
They've
lucky.
been inventing better medicines. Better makeup even.
Oh my God, there's this breakthrough I just read this morning, Pops. Basically, it's the blood of a teenager. Have you heard of that? I swear to God, it's all over the news. So
really?
Basically,
so what?
So the teenagers...
Don't say that.
No, it's real.
Poor
Google
all
it.
these young teenagers all over the world.
They're giving their blood for money, and with this teenager blood, they inject it into people that are over 40 years old. And they said, it's true. I'm about to get a teenager. We're gonna go get teenager blood.
Are you sure it's the blood that you need?
I don't know. Something else, sperm.
You said that. It didn't come from
That's
me.
why this
No,
is how
really? Okay.
Well, what's your favorite Filipino food?
Everything.
Of
course, the basics. Adobo.
Yes.
It's the best. Sinigang.
Chicken or?
Both.
Okay.
Pork and chicken.
Yes.
And I like the two-way cooked adobo.
What's that?
So you cook adobo with the sauce, but it's better if you fry the adobo afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That must taste so good.
It's really
You should
yummy.
open up a restaurant.
I'm not a good cook.
So you've built your career in singing since you started 16 years old, correct?
Actually, when I was 14.
14 years old.
Yes, 14.
And did you know that you already had that talent in you?
I just knew when I was younger. I guess coming from showbiz parents, it's in my blood.
Right. Here we go, blood again.
Yeah. So the title of this show
is Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Or it's all about blood.
Yes.
Okay. Ever since I was a kid, I always imagined myself being in front of the camera.
Right.
Whether it's singing or
Yes.
acting and whatever. But I never really knew what it entailed, right? So I just felt, I want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Or I want to see myself on TV when I was a little kid. And then one day I had a chance to audition. And so I did, but I did it as a little girl, not knowing anything about showbiz.
Right.
And somehow they liked my teeny weeny voice. And I became a recording artist.
Yes.
And from there, everything started from that, from the recording.
Right.
I did an album, I did movies, and then later on I did TV.
Right. Wow. So you have like so many talents. You act, you sing, and I heard that you now manage new talent as well. Is that correct?
Produce.
Oh, you
I
produce.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we're just so proud of you, and honestly, Pops, like thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's I know you saved this special moment. I know it's not in your schedule, but thank you.
Of course, it was such an honor and such a privilege to interview you, and you are like Filipino pride, and we're just
thank you very much.
We're just so blessed to have you. Well, thank you so much. This has been an amazing
Thank
time. Safe travels, and we'll see you soon.